Got you!
Oh!
Stay back!
Haven Ring Station had survived worse than fear. It had survived war. It had survived evacuation alerts, meteor breaches, reactor failures, and 3 diplomatic incidents that still appeared in classified archives. What it had never survived gracefully was uncertainty, and the cube brought nothing but that. The first scream echoed through Cargo Sector Delta at 0300 station time. Not the kind of scream caused by decompression or injury. It was sharp and layered, as if multiple voices screamed at once, yet perfectly synchronized. Alarms triggered automatically, but shut down just as fast. Sensors could not identify a threat, yet the station knew something was wrong. Security teams arrived to find 3 dock workers unconscious without visible injuries. Their heart rates were elevated, their neural activity erratic, like prey animals that had stared directly into a predator. At the center of the bay, something moved. Small, low to the ground, watching. The creature did not flee. It did not attack. It simply stared. 6 black eyes reflected the lights overhead. Its body was compact, dense with muscle, plates layered beneath short, ash-colored fur. 4 limbs rested against the deck, while 2 smaller upper limbs remained folded tight against its chest, like it was protecting something invisible. Its mouth did not open, yet the sound came again, vibrating through metal and bone alike. The security team retreated. That alone set the tone. By sunrise, the entire station knew there was an alien cube loose, and everyone was afraid of it. Haven Ring housed dozens of species, yet fear was rarely unanimous. Some species feared loud noises, others feared darkness, others feared silence. The cube somehow triggered them all. It did not need to chase or threaten. Proximity alone was enough. Those who got too close reported the same thing: a pressure behind the eyes, a feeling of being measured, not hunted, judged. Station Command sealed Cargo Delta and issued Protocol Block: no civilian movement, no non-essential staff, no curiosity seekers. Xenobiologists reviewed the footage in silence. They recognized the species. That made things worse. The cube belonged to the Varkesh, a species known across multiple systems, not for violence, but for consequence. Adult Varkesh were rare. Juveniles were almost never seen outside their homeworld. Varkesh young were classified as level crimson biological assets. Their presence without diplomatic clearance constituted a galactic emergency. Not because they attacked, but because they survived anything. Varkesh cubes were adaptive predators, designed by evolution to learn from every threat instantly. Pain did not teach them fear. It taught them optimization. And this one was alone. That meant something had gone very wrong. Command debated evacuation. The Council demanded containment. Security wanted authorization to terminate the cube if necessary. The xenobiologists refused outright. Killing a Varkesh juvenile without cause would trigger retaliation no station could survive. So they waited. The cube moved at will. Cameras caught it walking corridors calmly. It avoided crowds without running. It memorized patrol patterns. It learned access codes by observation. Doors opened for it without resistance, as if the station itself no longer trusted its own rules. People locked themselves in quarters. Work stopped. Fear spread faster than the cube ever could. Until one human arrived late for her shift. Mira Ellison was not supposed to be on Haven Ring that day. Her transfer orders had been approved weeks earlier, but bureaucratic delays kept her assigned to temporary duty as a systems technician. She arrived aboard a supply shuttle hours after Protocol Block had been issued. No one told her. The docking officer was busy shaking. Mara noticed the tension immediately. Humans were good at that, reading rooms, reading people, reading what was not being said. She asked questions and received half answers. Something about a cube, something about danger. She listened. Then she shrugged. because humans had a habit of not fully respecting warnings that came without context. Mara changed out of her flight jacket and walked toward Maintenance Spine C. She needed to recalibrate power relays that supplied half the station. Protocol Black did not override reactor stability. The corridor lights flickered. The air felt wrong. Mara slowed. Ahead of her, the cube stood in the middle of the passage. It had grown since the first footage, not larger, but heavier, more defined. Its eyes locked onto hers instantly. Mara felt the pressure, the evaluation. Her instinct screamed at her to run. She did not. Instead, she sighed. Because fear was familiar. She had lived with it long before leaving Earth. Mara slowly lowered her tool case and sat on the deck. She did not stare directly at the cube. She did not bare teeth or show her hands fully. She simply existed in the space. The cube took a step closer. Security monitoring stations erupted in noise. She did not reach for a weapon. She did not speak. She waited. The cube sniffed the air. Its posture changed, less rigid, curious. Mara finally spoke. "You look lost." The translators hesitated, then activated. Lost. The word echoed softer than expected. Mara nodded. "Me too, sometimes." The cube tilted its head. That was when the station realized something impossible was happening. The cube was engaging, not hunting, not preparing to flee. It sat. Mara smiled despite herself. That broke every protocol. Command ordered Mara to retreat immediately. She ignored them, because humans had another habit. When someone told them not to do something without explaining why, they often assumed the explanation would be stupid. Mara removed a ration bar from her pocket and placed it gently on the floor between herself and the cube. Not a threat, not an offering, just a presence. The cube sniffed it, then pushed it back toward her. Dislike. Mara laughed quietly. Fair enough. She stayed. Minutes passed, then hours. The cube never attacked. It never screamed again. It followed Mara when she stood. It watched when she worked. It mirrored her movements with eerie precision. Xenobiologists argued. Security panicked. The council demanded answers. Mara found herself assigned a full escort that she refused. She ate meals near the cube. She slept in cargo delta. She spoke to it constantly, even when it did not respond. She told stories. Humans were good at that too. The cube listened. It learned words, names, concepts like tired and hungry and safe. Safe was the most important. Then the truth emerged. The cube had been smuggled, a failed trafficking attempt gone wrong. The adults had been killed. The cube escaped containment during transit and arrived on Haven Ring terrified and alone. Fear made it dangerous. Mara changed that. As days passed, the cube followed Mara openly. Station staff watched in disbelief as fear faded. The pressure lessened. The screams stopped entirely. The cube slept. That alone shocked the xenobiologists. Varkesh juveniles did not sleep without pack presence. Mara had become the pack. She refused special recognition. "I just didn't treat it like a monster," she said. The council argued policy. Humans argued outcomes. When Varkesh diplomatic ships arrived weeks later, they did not bring war. They brought silence. Their leaders bowed to Mara, not as an equal, as something rarer, a protector. They reclaimed the cube with care and respect. It hesitated to leave her side. Mara knelt. "You'll be okay," she said. The cube pressed its head against her chest. Safe. The word echoed through the chamber. Haven Ring returned to normal, but it was changed. Protocols were rewritten. Human behavioral exceptions were added. The incident became required study material across the galaxy, not because of fear, but because of what broke it. A human sat down instead of running. A human listened instead of attacking. A human broke the rules and saved everyone. HFY.